Hey guys, how's it going? And welcome to the Minute Channel. Today we're gonna be talking about something that I've been trying to come up with a good way to go over, and that is Persona 6 and kind of like my thoughts on the Silent Protagonist, which is obviously something that's already famous from Persona 3 and Persona 4, and obviously kind of carries over into Persona 5, but not really. This is really what I want to talk about it. So, one of the big things that I've seen a lot of people look at into JRPGs is the fact that you have the Silent Protagonist. The Silent Protagonist is a protagonist that is basically a self-insert. You can kind of insert yourself into the character. You kind of role play in that aspect, right? You're living the life of a high school student. You have things that you do and so on, and it's really a interesting way to play RPGs. However, personally, I never really been able to get into that mentality, even when I'm played games that do feature a silent protagonist like Persona 3 or Persona 4. I never really been able to kind of fit into the role of like a silent protagonist. Personally, I like to be more on the side where I kind of just enjoy the story, with characters and what they say and what they do, character motivation, what kind of characters they are, what kind of characters they become over time. I really look at games and I see what kind of the character evolves over time. I love to see character development. I love to see good character writings, whether it's a protagonist or the cast and everything. And one thing that I'm kind of being disillusionized over time in the Persona series is the fact that, well, there is some sort of character development when it comes to the main protagonist. They usually leave that kind of stuff to like sequels or the anime or the manga, where you can really see a more fully fledged character. And I'm kind of and that really brings to an aspect that a lot of people discuss is kind of things like canon names, things like, oh well, on the sequel of Persona 5 Strikers, Joker does blank. And I'm like, well, if that's the case, then why doesn't Atlas just make a protagonist from the get-go? Why don't they just make a full all-on protagonist with a full storyline and cast and voice and everything like that? Because it really doesn't make sense to do that on a sequel but not do that to the original games. Like, it's still the same character, but you're giving it a lot more writing on the sequel or on the spin-off game or something like that, and it really conflicts with what you're trying to do. What are you trying to do? Really, that's one of the things that really kind of bothered me a little bit, is thinking that the fact that you're writing a character with a self-insert. However, the next game on the series is not a self-insert character with a silent voice. You're really giving it more personality. You're giving it, the animes there, and that's giving them personality. That's giving them voice acted lines. That is giving them like something to do and say and everything like that. And it really just takes me by surprise and saying like, well, that's not really a silent protagonist. You're not doing. Yeah, it's kind of lukewarm to me, where like it's neither a silent protagonist nor a full-fledged written protagonist. It's like something in between, and it really comes off as kind of weird, because at the end of the day, like, so a lot of people are like, well, I really like Joker because of the style or whatever, but I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, yeah, but he really doesn't have much of a personality. What is left of the personality is based off of everything else that you see. A lot of the stuff is really implied. Joker, particularly, for example, has some voice acted lines, but not a lot of them. So why not just have a fully voice acted main protagonist? Why not just have a character that is with a full background that has a lot of different stuff? Personally, I'm in the camp that either do something well and go all the way in, or not do it at all. Shin Megami Tensei does this pretty well. Well, they do not have a voice-acted protagonist. Like, there's no voice or anything like that. Their characters are pretty much really well written, to the point that you do see there are some choices and consequences. Flynn, for example, in Shin Megami Tensei 4, is a pretty strong main protagonist. There is a lot of things that say about the main protagonist, but at the same time you have plenty of leeway of room as far as saying, okay, Flynn has separate choices, but at the same time there are some really more grounded choices that you can have and everything like that. Persona doesn't really have anything like that, and personally I feel like this will be a good aspect to kind of look into. Obviously there are some, some people really do enjoy seeing a silent protagonist, no voice, no name, you kind of name the character, you insert yourself into this character. But at this point with the Persona series and the direction that it's going, which is a more mainstream RPG kind of thing, I feel like just going all out into it, just kind of going all out into when it comes to the actual kind of main protagonist, story-driven cast and everything. Maybe they should look into doing something like that. That's kind of how I feel about it. Obviously, some people are not gonna agree to what I'm saying. Some people may disagree and everything, but I do see it like that. I see that there's a lot of stuff that you could say and say, well, there's a lot that there's a lot to discuss. Right? There's some things, there's some valid points that I feel like I'm raising in this video today. So let me know, Gonzalo, what do you think? Do you like a silent protagonist more? Do you like a protagonist with a more concise storytelling that is more direct, that there is some kind of direction that they're going, character development, more well written in a sense? I know again some people that just like to look at some things and say, well, I like to self-insert myself into a story, and I feel like you can still self-insert into story, but at the same time being able to kind of I enjoy a fully voice acted, fully well written cast. It's just really again a matter of kind of just seeing certain things. There's no in between to me, I guess. Really, there's just like one or the other. Anyway, that is pretty much it for today, guys. Just talking about this because I'm just thinking about this in the top of my head. I'm like, I really want to make a video about this. But let me know in the comments below. What do you think about this? Do you agree or disagree? Do you want a character that just has a voice and is able to do, or vice versa? Thank you so much for watching this, guys. If you're new, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.